Hello everyone, myself A.A.CHOUDHURY. I am a class 10 status student from Global Public Central School, Hailakandi, Assam, situated at Hailakandi, Assam. So today I am going to discuss a chapter, not a chapter, but a portion of chapter story of from Glimpses of India, Part 3, T from Assam, Class 10 English, First Grade book. So basically, by the name of the chapter, we come to know that this chapter will talk about tea, especially of Assam. So, the author of the story is Arup Kumar Dutta, who is Arup Kumar Dutta was born in 1946. He was born and brought up in Assam, in Jorhat. He was an professor of English in Jorhat JB College. So this is basically about Arup Kumar Dutta. So in this chapter we will come across two persons communicating with each other. So let's begin. Here Pranjal and Rajveer are the two characters. The main character is Rajveer, and Pranjal is from Assam, Rajveer is from Delhi. They both are the classmates of each other in Delhi school. That is, Pranjal studies in Delhi school and Rajveer also studies in the Delhi school, same school. They were the classmates of each other and they were studying in the same class by classmates as their classmates. And Rajveer's and Pranjal's father, Mr. Borwa, will come across in the last part of the story. Pranjal's father, Mr. Borwa, was the manager of Pranjal's father, Mr. Borwa, was the garden manager of the Dekhiabari garden. So they are coming from Delhi. Pranjal invited Rajveer to come with him to spend the summer holiday, that is summer vacation of the school, with Pranjal's family. So Rajveer agreed and they are traveling by train. After they after they sat in the seat of the train, one vendor was calling chai garam chai from outside the train. So basically we know when the train was stopped, so that is why he was calling from outside. So the vendor came across their window and their compartment's window in where Rajveer and Pranjal was sitting, and asked them, "Chai Saab," as we know usually some chai wala calls us. So Pranjal ordered to give 2 cups of tea for them, as there were 2 people. So almost all of the people in the compartment are drinking hot tea. So Rajveer said Pranjal that, "Do you know?" Rajveer asked Pranjal, "Do you know that over 80 crore cups of tea are drunk per day in the whole world?" Pranjal said, "Wow, tea is very popular," Pranjal said. Then the train starts and it leaves the station. So Pranjal was very excited to study and very familiar also to study. Pranjal was very much Pranjal used to like to read detective books and detective stories, this all. So he brought detective books with him. He started reading. He was not enjoying with Rajveer, not gossiping. Rajveer was too interested in studying detective books. But at that point of time, Rajir was not, because he hadn't seen this type of surroundings, he hadn't seen this type of atmosphere. Rajir was also very interested to read and study the detective books, but at that point of time he was not doing so. He was busy in seeing the surrounding scenery, beautiful scenery of this surroundings environment. As he was traveling, so he was seeing this. After a while, he saw a old building which was very ugly and saw a tea garden. He said, Pranjal, wow, see this tea garden, see this garden. As we know that tea gardens are very large, very much bigger in size, and the plains in hectares, in 1,000 hectares, in 1,000 hectares a tea garden is produced. For production at tea garden, very large places needed. So there were. So Pranjal said that Rajbir that if you want to see all the plantations of Assam, at first Rajbir said that Assam, now it's in tea country. Assam, after entering Assam, he saw that, and he told that now it's in tea country now. So when Rajbir was seeing the surrounding, Pranjal Pranjal was not seeing, as he was very familiar with this type of things. So Pranjal was not very excited to see this. At that moment he was not surprised as well. Pranjal was not Pranjal was not in the share with Rajvir's excitement. Rajvir was so excited as he has seen this type of things for the first time. Pranjal said, if you want to see all the gardens, all the plantations of Assam, you will have to till lifetime you will have to see this, to know everything of Assam, to know every plantation, to see every plantations and this all. So Rajbir said that Assam is very popular in tea plantation, as we also know. So the chain passes. Rajbir told Pranjal that he had done some homework in his room about tea, but he wanted to know more and more about tea production and that all. So he said till now he didn't knew that who discovered the tea. So Rajbir then said that he didn't knew that, but he knows there are many legends who said that word tea. So one of them was a Chinese emperor who used to boil the water before drinking. So one day he was boiling, his servants were boiling the water, and we know that earlier there was no such machines to boil water like gas cylinder we have now. So earlier they used to do with wood only, to boil, for fire use as a fuel. They used to use wood. So they were boiling with wood. At a moment, we know that wood contains some leaves, that's all. At a moment there was a small leaf. It flew over the water from the down of the from that wood, from the wood they were using as fuel. It flew over the water. So after the emperor drank the water, he said that it's very. So one day when his servants was boiling. One day when his servants were boiling the water, twigs of leaves flew over the water, and after drinking it, the emperor said to his servants that it's very delicious, and from that he named these leaves as tea. So Pranjal was very much excited. Pranjal excitedly said Rajveer to tell him more and more about this type of incidents. So Rajveer said, yes, there are another legend too. As he knows, there are many legends, but he knew only two legends, Indian legends. The second one is Indian legends, the first one is Chinese legend. So Indian legend. So he said he knew another legend who is from India only. So Indian legend, he said that he knew an Indian legend too. The name of the Indian legend was Bodhidharma. He was an ancient ascetic Buddhist. Ascetic means those who are sannyasi, those who do meditation always. So he said that, so one day, so when he do the meditation, he used to get asleep. He used to fall asleep. So he cut off his eyelids. So one day he cut his eyelids, and he saw that from one eyelids 10 plants grew. So when he ate that leaves, then he was asleep, and when he ate that leaves, he was feeling good. He was not feeling asleep. So he named these leaves tea. And Rajveer also said that about before 2700 BC, that is before Christ, tea was introduced in China first. China introduced the tea first before 2700 BC. But earlier also some would do, but he didn't knew that. He was saying just that this only. And in the 16th century it was introduced in Russia, that is 1501 to 1599. So in Russia, in China it was used as medicine as well as drink also, but in Russia it was not used as drink. It was used as medicine, for medicine purpose, much more than drink. It was not totally used, but it was little bit used as drink, but it was much more used as medicine purpose. So he was telling that it was used as medicine in Russia, because we know that if we have cough, then if we eat and drink tea, then it will dismiss the cough. So this type of tea is very helpful in medicine also. So after the train reached in the Meridian Junction, the two boys, Pranjal and Rajbir, were on the way to leave the train. Their parents were waiting for them in this crowded platform, so they pushed their way to. So they took their luggage in their hand and they pushed their way to the crowded platform. After they reached, they saw that their parents were waiting for them. Soon they were traveling on the way of Decabari, where the garden was managed by Pranjal's father. After they reached the garden of Decabari, they saw that the tea pluckers were plucking the tea leaves, the newly spotted leaves of the teas, and there was an wooden bag was hanged in their back of the tea pluckers. So they saw some of the tea pluckers, they were plucking these newly spotted leaves of teas. So after some moment or after a minute or a second, Pranjal's father slowed the car because one tractor was carrying the load of tea leaves and was coming to give him pass. He slowed the car and he was decided to so that the tractor could go. So Pranjal's father slowed. So Rajbir asked Pranjal's father that isn't it the second sporting year? Second sporting year, and he also knew that from May to June it's the best tea. The yield of tea leaves is the best, so that's why in the market some teas are costly, some teas are cheaper than that, so that's why. So Pranjal's father in surprise said Rajvi, yes. Pranjal's father also said that Rajvi that he had done that he thinks that Rajvi has done some homework in his home. Rajvi said yes, but he wanted to know more, as I have said earlier. So he said that to Pranjal's father also, that he wanted to know more as he was in Assam, and as Assam was very famous for tea production, so he could know more and more. So that's the chapter. The chapter ends. Thank you.
Subscribe, like and share my channel and share more and more.